Morning, everyone. Our third try here for the intro. So the sun is up. I'm on my second cup of coffee. Clearly not enough. Playing with stencils today. Acetate sheets, x-acto blades, cutting mats. I made stencil Frida. I actually made 2 stencils because I'm still practicing, so I've dragged you along with me. I use the gesso, but you can use any acrylic or even a spray paint to create your stencil. So very, very fun. A lot of glare from my overhead light, so sorry about that in advance. Alright, thank you for all of the gifts that have come lately. So delicious, and thank you for the monetary gifts that have been sent to the village. You guys help keep the lights on. Alright, see you on the table. Well, here's our project for today. I made a couple of stencils of Frida. So that is that stencil. Turned out really nicely. Then I decided to do another one on a deli sheet background. Showed up okay. But then I did it again on the printer paper. Shows up much better. So I made the stencils on acetate sheets with an x-acto and a cutting board. And then this is black gesso. Good morning. Coffee in hand, of course. Dark o'clock, really dark o'clock. And we're going to work on a stencil. So we have Frida here. I have a ballpoint pen. And I'm going to go around some dark areas that I will be cutting out. So I brought in a piece of acetate, taped it to the top and the bottom. I'm bringing in my Sharpie and I'm going to go over those lines. The glare from my light is really bad, so I'm just going to do that off screen. We'll come back and look at that. Okay, so I outlined here, came across here, left a gap here, left a gap here, cut the ear, few details in the ear, around the hair, left the butterfly in the hair, left the butterfly in the hair, came around, left her little part there. Her eyebrows are connected in. I didn't do her mouth, I'll bring that in. I'm going to cut it out, the dark lines, with a very sharp x-acto. And then we will come back and see what we have, okay? I've taken her off the background. You can see my outlines here. I'm going to take my x-acto in here and cut those lines out. Alright, I don't know how well you can see her, but I have her cut out. Dark areas here, her mouth, her ears, some definition. I didn't go too crazy. Her hair, I eliminated the butterflies. There's a bridge that holds the forehead on, and then there's a bridge here that holds the rest of the face on with the ears. I cut this, making this pretty fragile. I think I'll mend that with a little piece of tape here. So I mended it here with a little piece of white tape, so everything is all held together. Let's see how it turns out, shall we? I know we have a glare from my light. I have a sponge brush and my black gesso, and I'm going to start going over the stencil. I'm not going to peek, although I want to. Alright, let's see what we've got. Oh, she's gorgeous. I just did it on printer paper for the first try, so now she's ready to really play with on an art piece. She's fun. So you just kind of have to remember that the negatives and positives are a little bit different. She's known for her eyebrows, so I'm going to take her eyebrows in. I'm using a magic marker. You can use a ballpoint pen or anything that will draw so that you can see it. And this is going to be a bit dark, but my overhead leaves a glare. I'm bringing a piece of acetate in. Tape that to each other. Come back in with my Sharpie and go over the lines that I have created. Alright, so I traced her eyebrows, her eyes. There has to be some way for the face to remain connected to the exterior. So I have a bridge here and a bridge here. Hoping that's enough. Maybe we'll bridge all the way up here. Keep that connected. Trying to keep you out of the sheen. So I'll cut this out, all these dark areas. Cut those out with a very sharp X-acto. I'm going to take the stencil off the paper, put it on my cutting mat, and cut. Trying to keep it out of the glare a little bit. So here's the dark drawing on my cutting mat. I'm going to go ahead and tape her down to the cutting mat so she doesn't move. Bring in a sharp X-acto and cut out these dark lines. I have her all cut out along all of those black lines that I created. I have a deli sheet. This is just a practice. So I put her on, I taped her down to a deli sheet. Grabbing my black gesso and a sponge brush, I'm just going to go in here and dab throughout the stencil. I think I got everything. Carefully remove the stencil. And ta-da! Yep, pretty darn good. I'm going to do her again on white printer paper. She shows up much better. Alright, carefully remove the acetate. There she is. She shows up better on the white. Alright, growling tummy. Your turn. Go create, go play, Go have fun.